VWAP indicator. The VWAP indicator is a very, very popular indicator, and it is also a main indicator that big money uses. And so by big money, I mean Wall Street. And so today I'm going to be using TradingView here for today's video. Again, completely free to use. So head on over to TradingView if you guys want to follow along here. And so the very first thing I want to do here is show you guys where you find the VWAP indicator and how you add it to your chart. So the first thing you want to do here is you want to go all the way to the top and you want to go over to the indicators tab. Go ahead and click on it. And then here you want to search for VWAP. So type in VWAP. And so under technicals, you're going to see VWAP. And here it actually tells us what it stands for. So VWAP is going to stand for volume weighted average price. So go ahead and click on this once, and then we can go ahead and close out of this window here. So as you can see, it has added the VWAP indicator to our chart. Now, as you can see, there are multiple different lines here in kind of shades of background. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to go ahead and remove all of these except the VWAP. You know, they may be useful for more advanced traders, but for today, I just want to focus on the VWAP and not confuse you guys with all these other lines here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my VWAP indicator, go into the settings, and let's just hide everything except the VWAP. So the actual VWAP is the blue line, by the way, and you can actually see here which one it is. So I'm just going to hide everything underneath here. So go ahead and click on all these check boxes here. So let's go ahead and click on them, and that one right there too. And then let's go ahead and click on OK. So now, as you can see, we only see the blue line, which is the actual VWAP. So the first thing I'm going to do here is talk about what the VWAP is, how it's calculated, and then we'll talk about the key facts you need to know about this indicator. So as already mentioned, VWAP stands for volume weighted average price. This is a trading benchmark that represents the average price a security has traded at throughout the day based on both price and volume. So it is very similar to a moving average, but remember, a moving average only looks at the prices and averages them out. This looks at both price and volume, and remember, volume is a very important thing as well when trading. And so it also takes into account volume. And let me actually show you the formula here for it. So VWAP, the way you would calculate it is you would total the volume times the price and divided by total volume, where price would be the high plus the low plus the close divided by 3. So it's okay if you don't understand this formula. The more important thing here is to understand how you apply it and how you use it when you're trading. So anyways, let's go back here. Now that we kind of have an understanding of VWAP and what it actually tells us, let's talk about the key facts here and how you can apply it. So number one, the first thing I want to mention here, this is an indicator that should really only be used on intraday time frames. So time frames that are less than 1 day. And you can actually see here that I'm using the 5-minute chart. I would say the most popular time frames for this is going to be the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5-minute charts. And notice if I go over here and try to use, for example, the daily chart, look at what happens. The line, the blue line, the VWAP just cuts through the candles here, and it doesn't really give us any information. This is not going to be helpful or useful to us in any way. So again, this should really only be used on intraday time frames here. So let's go back and let's go over to the 5-minute chart here for today's video. So as you can see now, this can tell us a lot more information here. The blue line, the VWAP, is not just cutting through the candles. And so this is very helpful now. Now, number two, I mentioned that Wall Street and big money really love this indicator. Why? So here's the thing about the VWAP. It can help you in deciding if the stock is overvalued, if it's at a fair price, or if it's undervalued for that particular day. And so here's the way that usually works. So if we take a look here, right, we see the VWAP, which again is the blue line. Notice the price here is above the VWAP. So if the price is above the VWAP, the price for that day is considered as overvalued. It's expensive. On the other hand, if we take a look here, right, notice the price is underneath the VWAP. If the price is underneath the VWAP, the price is considered undervalued. It's cheap. in regards to that day. And then if the price is at the VWAP, like we see right here, it's considered to be at a fair price. And so how does Wall Street use this? Well, let's say a customer calls their investment manager and says, hey, I want to buy 500,000 shares of Snap. Guess what? The investment manager is not just going to buy Snap at any time during the day, right? They're not just going to go ahead and buy 500,000 shares right away. No, they're going to be looking to buy it as cheaply as possible that day. So for example, we take a look here, right? Yesterday, which was July 8th, right? The investment manager wasn't going to buy Snap up here. They were going to wait for the price to go below VWAP, because that would indicate to them that it's at a cheaper than average price. And so this is where big money is going to buy, when it's at a cheaper than average price. On the other hand, if someone called their investment manager and said, hey, please sell 500,000 shares of Snap, again, they're not just going to sell their shares at any time throughout the day. They're going to be looking to sell at a better than average price. And so where would that be? That would be where the price is above the VWAP. So for example, right here would have been a great place for them to sell, because here it tells you that you're selling at a better than average price, because the average, again, is the VWAP. And so if you're above that, that means the stock is, again, overvalued, higher than average, which is good if you're selling the stock, right? And then again, if it's at VWAP, it's going to be considered a fair price. The other reason Wall Street uses this is to make sure that they don't disrupt the markets, okay? So for example, if the price was up here yesterday and VWAP was right down here, the investment manager probably didn't want to buy at this point, because this would have caused the price to go even higher and deviate even further away from the VWAP, causing a disruption. Same thing, when it was down here below the VWAP, investment managers probably don't want to sell because it'll push it further away from the VWAP. They want to try to push it back towards the average, okay? That's what they try to do. So that's another way that they use this. So again, price above the VWAP, it's overvalued. Price below, it's undervalued for the day. Price at the VWAP, it's at a fair price. Now, number 3, VWAP indicator helps you identify the trend or movement for the day. So again, if the price is above the VWAP, the price is considered to be in an uptrend. It's in a bullish movement for the day. However, once the price goes below the VWAP, it's considered to be in a downtrend or in a bearish movement for the day. So if it's in an uptrend, right, if it's above the VWAP, you're potentially looking to look for long opportunities, buying calls, buying the stock. However, if it's in a downtrend, you're potentially looking for shorting opportunities, shorting the stock, buying puts, bearish positions, right? So that's another key thing that this tells you. It can help you identify the trend for the day on that particular stock. And remember, the trend is always your friend. So it is very important that you understand what the trend is, because you probably don't want to be trading against the trend. Number 4, the VWAP, since it's a very popular indicator that a lot of traders are using, it a lot of the times will act as an area of support and resistance. So for example, you can see here yesterday, right? This snap started in an uptrend, right? It was above the VWAP before breaking it, going into a downtrend. And then what happened when it tried to come back up to the VWAP? It got rejected. And the VWAP acted as an area of resistance here before it fell back down, as you can see here. So a lot of the times, this VWAP indicator will act as an area of support and resistance, right? So again, for example, here, it came up to VWAP and it rejected, it came back down, and we can look for more and more examples, right, if we want here. So that's another key thing here, is that VWAP a lot of the time, since again, a lot of people are using this indicator, will act as an area of resistance or support. So here it was resistance again. Here, after it broke through it, it turned into support, right? It came up, came back down, touched it before heading back up higher here. So here it acted as an area of support, and here it first acted as an area of resistance. So again, that's a very, very important thing, right? Understanding what might potentially be an area of support and resistance. A lot of the times it's going to be this VWAP indicator. So now with everything that I've mentioned, right, how can we potentially use the VWAP to help us out when trading? So let me take a look at another example. Let me go over to Triple Q here. So here we have triple Q. I'm still on the 5-minute chart, and here's my VWAP indicator. So again, the first thing you would potentially do here is identify the trend, right? And how do we identify the trend? Well, where is the price in relation to the VWAP? So for example, here, this was back on July 5th, right? The price opened, and as you can see, it was staying above the VWAP. So this let us know that QQQ was in an uptrend. It was in a bullish movement. You were potentially looking to only go long here and look for a long position. Now, the other thing we just mentioned, right, is VWAP acts as areas of support and resistance. So potentially what you might have done here is you would have identified the trend, which is uptrend. You're looking for a potential long opportunity here. And so as the price came down, then you would look for price action, looking at potential candlestick patterns, things like that, to see, is this going to hold? Is this VWAP going to hold as support? And so if you would have done some again, price action, some look at candlestick patterns here, you might have potentially at this point, right, said, okay, I think it's going to hit this, and this is going to act as an area of support. So you could have potentially entered here, right, say your stop loss right below, so in case it does break, you don't lose a lot of money. And then, right, what happened here, it did act indeed as an area of support here, right? It bounced off the VWAP, and as you can see, it headed up higher, right? So that would be a potential way to use it. Again, it helps you identify the trend. So here again, we knew, hey, this is looking like it's going in an uptrend. We're looking for a potential long opportunity. Where do we want to go long? Probably on the pullback. Where is it going to pull back to? Well, again, the VWAP generally acts as an area of support and resistance, so we think it's going to pull back here. Again, you want to confirm it with price action, candlestick patterns, and so if you would have seen that here, you would have gone ahead and entered here, setting your stop loss right below the VWAP in case it does break. And as you can see here, it did indeed bounce off the VWAP. It acted as support, and it pushed up even higher here. Okay, so you would have made a nice play here, looking at the VWAP and using it here. Okay, so that's potentially how you would use it. And so that's kind of the main focus of the VWAP indicator and what it helps you identify. So anyways, if you guys have any questions about anything I just talked about, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Check out the Discord, link to it in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.